Hello, everyone. This is Garrett, a math tutor at the DLASC, and today I want to talk about log properties. So there are three properties that I want to talk about, and those are going to be used, these properties are going to be used to maybe manipulate or maybe simplify things using logs in your equations to make it easier to solve. And so the three properties I want to talk about are the product, the quotient, and the power. So the product rule for logarithms basically says that when you have a log a of x plus a log a of y, this is the same thing as saying log a of x times y. All right. So when there's two logs with the same base, now you got to remember they have this a, they both have to have the same base, right? When they have the same base and they're added together, it's the same thing as saying they're multiplied together. And likewise, if you have a log a of x minus a log a of y, this is the same thing as saying they are divided by each other. So when they're added together and they have the same base, it's the same thing as multiplying the x and y. And when they're minus and subtracted, it's the same thing as saying divided. Now the power rule says when you have a log a of x to the, let's say, p power, right? This is the same thing as saying p times log a of x, right? And all that's saying is if you have something raised to the power of a log, you can bring it to the outside or vice versa. Let's say you have, some type of 2 log of x. You can rewrite this as log x squared. Or if you have log x squared, you can put the 2 out in the front. And whatever makes it easier, you can do those back and forth. It doesn't matter, right? So let's get to some examples here that use these three rules, all right? We're going to put our rules over here. And let's say an example of 3 ln x minus 4/5 ln x plus 2. So let's say we have this problem and we want to simplify it, right? Now it's a little messy right now, but there's a way to make it a little bit more simple and to play with this using our three rules. So first thing I can see right here when approaching this problem is there is a minus, so these can combine to divide. But let's clean up this left side first, right? Let's look at the 3 ln x. I can take this 3 and I can bring it over here based on our power rule, right? If you look at our power rule says log a of x to the p power is the same thing as saying p to the log a to the x power. So if I have a p in front of there, I can bring it and use it as the power of my x. And in this case, I can take that 3 and bring it in front of the x, the ln of x. So you or bring it to the power of ln of x. So I can say ln of x cubed, right? And so that is equal to this, right? So another thing I can do is I can look at this second term here, and I can see that I can do the same thing, right? I can take this 4/5 and bring it to the front of that. So I can rewrite this equation as ln of x cubed minus ln of x plus 2 to the 4/5 power. By in the same way that I can bring this 3 to the front, I can bring that 4/5 to the front. And algebraically, I can take this if I wanted to. I can keep it like that, but I can also rewrite this ln of x plus 2, and I can rewrite it like this. 4 to the x plus 2, or not 4, sorry, rather than 4, I could say this is 5 to the 4th power. And that is kind of the same rule as if you have, let's say, a square root of x is the same thing as saying x to the 1/2, right? This being your 2 and this being your 1, right? If I have a fraction to the power, I can rewrite it in this format. And that's all I did. I just rewrote that x plus 2 to the 4/5 power as the 5th root of x plus 2 to the 4th power. There's some an algebraic manipulation there. But that's not the point of the logarithm properties. Here, I then can now simplify this minus term here, right? And I can use the quotient rule here. The quotient rule says if I have two logs with the same base, and ln being just, ln is just saying to the base e of something, right? Or log base e, rather. These two have the same base. I can now combine these because the ln's are log base e. They have the same base. And I can rewrite them as saying they're divided by each other. So I can rewrite this as saying ln of x squared all over the second term. And this could be a version of a simplified answer, depending on our question. Now, we didn't have something that we solved here, but the idea is we can use these properties to manipulate things and make them more simple for our equation, right? And these properties can be used on anything with the same base. That's the only thing I want to emphasize. So let's say you have something log base 3 of x plus log base 4 of y. These things don't work. They have to be both log base 3 or log base 4, and you can combine them. So this is how you use log properties. My name is Garett with the DLASC, and happy studying, y'all.